All right. Let's find a comfortable seat. Let the sits bones root down. Let the ribs lift from the waistline. Shoulders can lift up, back, and down. Taking a full breath in and a long breath out. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Not letting the mind get caught up on any sounds you may hear, and not letting the mind race too far if you can. Just remember to be connecting to the breath, keeping you present with the inhale and with the exhale. Noticing if the mind's taking you somewhere, led you into the past, or is taking you into the future. Just gently returning to this moment and to this breath. And with awareness, you can keep your eyes closed if you like, but let your left hand come towards the belly, the right hand comes towards the heart. A few more rounds of breath here, connecting your mind and your body with your spirit. And letting the hands go. Let's take the arms out and up with a full breath in. And exhale, hands dropped now towards the heart. Good, nice strong breath in. And a deep breath out. Good. Let's do one more. Full breath in. Exhale completely. And then starting to come to a twist. Let the arms reach high and then twist over to the right side. Hands drop towards the floor. And then back through center to the left. So just take your time. Let your head, neck, and eyes shift from one side to the other. I like to start with a few movements to warm up the spine before we ask it to do more for us, just gently taking a moment to give it a good stretch. And then last one with that twist. Good. Let's come to center and then right hand towards the floor. Let the left arm bring you up and over. Keeping the sits bones rooted, and then when you're ready, we'll go to the second side. Good, and moving with your breath here again. Take your time. Be aware of where your gaze is. Make sure that you're looking straight ahead or up or down towards the hand, just not dropping chin towards the chest. and then last one here, whichever side you're on, let that be the last one, and then back to center. Good, let the arms extend forward, and then elbows draw back towards each other as you come into the shoulder work. So extend the arms forward and reach forward as the shoulder blades really come forward, and then elbows drop back, shoulders stay low so they're not high, they're down, and then back. Good, inhale and exhale. So watch where your neck is, make sure your neck's in alignment over the spine, and you're breathing. Nice strong inhale, strong exhale. Good, one more, inhale, stretch and reach, exhale, elbows go back, and then we're gonna cross the arms over the chest, and then open back out. Arms cross over the chest, exhale, back out. Good, so again, moving with your breath. Get to that point where the elbows stack, maybe forearms or elbows, just depends on how that feels for you. Good, and then next one's the last one. And let that go, shake it off. Let's come into a tabletop. So let your, come to your hands and knees. Take a look at your wrists, make sure that they're parallel with the top of your mat. So, so if the fingertips are turned out a little bit, that creates more pressure on the wrists, which can be a trouble spot for a lot of us anyhow. So really taking a look at that, and then push down a little bit more with the mound of your pointer finger. I'm gonna turn just so you can kind of see. So knees are straight down from the hips, hands are down from the shoulders, and then let's move through some cat-cow action. I'm gonna take my sweater off here. Good, so engaging your core, draw the belly in, round the spine, and then let the head and tail come high as the belly drops towards the floor. Keep your arms engaged at all times if you can, with the eyes of the elbows facing each other. Pardon me. Inhale and exhale. Good, and then we'll pause for just a moment, find that neutral spine, and wag the tail a little bit. So let your hips shift from one side to the other. If you want a little bit more to this action, you can let your eyes look to the right when you're shifting right. Look, eyes shift to the left when you're looking left. Little side to side movement there. Again, keep your arms strong and your core strong. And then let's move into some circles. So here, the body just kind of shifts around. Here, the elbows can bend and the head moves around. Again, just kind of warming up the body and then go in the opposite direction. And then bring it right back to center, back into tabletop. Okay, good. And now we're gonna extend the right arm and left leg out from the body. So finding a little bit of balance here. Push through that left heel. So the toes aren't pointing away, you're pushing through that heel. And then watch that your hips kind of level out. You're trying to keep them even. Now, engage your core, find a focal point on the floor, so as you move to the second side, you're not moving the body a ton. See if you can limit that action of how much you move the body. Switching sides when you're ready, moving with your breath from one side to the other, maybe tucking the toes on the foot that stays to the floor. That can help with balance, protect the knee. Good, and then next one's the last one. So whatever side you're on, find that extension and reach, pushing through the heel and back to tabletop. Good, so next pose will be adding on to this. Let your right arm and left leg extend out and then round in the spine. Bring the elbow and knee together underneath. Pardon me. Extend back out. Maybe doing that again, or you're reaching for your foot behind you and lifting up. Whoops. Good, and then extend out again, come down to switch. Watch your wrists, make sure that's parallel. Tuck the toes on the foot behind you, feel balanced. Round the spine, elbow and knee together. Maybe doing that a second time, or you're reaching for the foot behind you, kicking it up a little bit. Good, so go slow. Move with your breath. There's no rush here. Finding the extension and the reach. Good, and then when you're ready, back to tabletop. Let that one be the last one for child's pose. Toes touch, maybe untucking the toes here. Let your knees be wide, and then let your heart surrender down. So that can be, tabletop can be a lot for the wrists. So if you need to, you can kind of wring them out here a little bit. Clench into a fist, roll it around. At any point, you can come to child's pose. That is a nice, relaxing pose that if we're getting into something that's too much or doesn't feel comfortable, always come back to a child's pose. So when you're ready, let's come, I'm gonna turn, but let your hands be strong, tuck your toes for a downward facing dog. Lift the hips high. So maybe pedaling the feet here a little bit. Good, let's come into standing pose. So take your time. You can come back down to your knees if you need to, or look to your hands, walk, jump, creep, crawl, all the way to a standing pose. I'm gonna step back just a little bit. Can't see what you can see. So we'll do some leg balancing here. Coming into Tadasana, we'll move from Tadasana from one side to the other, always coming back to this strong standing pose. So feet are about hip-width distance apart. Let your tailbone root down. So watch that you're not pushing forward or back too much. You're right in alignment. Lift the ribs up, back, and down, and then sides of the neck draw back. We're gonna do some leg work here, move from one side to the other. So first the right knee, lifts high, and then tap the floor behind you. Lift up and tap. Lift up and tap. Good. Move with your breath. Find your focal point. Have a wall or a chair close by if you feel wobbly today. Our balance can vary from day to day. Good, so let's do one more. Good. Back to Tadasana, the strong standing pose. And then second side. Left knee lifts up and tap behind. Up and tap. So let that knee be hip height and then tap the floor just gently with the toes, not trying to root down too strong because we're going to go right back into it again. And again. Last one. Good. And Tadasana. So now we're going to take that right knee, lift it up, open it out, tap the floor, back and down. So watch that you're not turning too much to the left. Stay strong on that left leg. Up, out, tap, up, in, and down. Up, out, tap, up, in, and down. So if the hips turn too much, you're going to kind of feel it in that left knee, and we're kind of looking not to do that. Stay as rooted down on that left side as you can. Good, that's the last one. We'll come back to center, to Tadasana. Tadasana. Root down with that right leg, lift the left knee, let it open, tap the floor, back in and down. Up, out, tap, up, in, and down. Good. 2 more. Last one. Good. Back to Tadasana, strong standing pose. Let your body kind of shift to the left a little. You're going to lean just a little bit. Watch how you don't collapse on that left side. But the right leg is going to go out and back. Out and back. So point the toes up towards your knee. If the toes are flexed out, then it's a little harder to balance that way. And your toes will drag along the floor. Push through the heel, keep those toes up towards the knee. Last one. Good. Tadasana. Take the weight to the right leg. Again, lengthen your tailbone, lift your heart. Shift the weight to the right side. Again, watch that you haven't collapsed on that side. Out and back. Let your arms be out wherever you need them to be for balance. Last one. Good. Back to Tadasana. So this next one, same idea, Tadasana. We're going to draw the right leg out for a bit of a kick, and then take the heel towards the glute. So see how the knees are in alignment? Watch that your knee is not too far forward. Bring them together, and then heel towards the glute. Kick out, heel towards the glute. Again, the toes have to be pointing up towards the knee, otherwise they're going to drag on the floor and makes it harder to do this pose. Maybe you're feeling it on the left side in the glute. Good, last one. Heel towards the glute. This is the last one. Kick it out, heel towards the glute. Good, there we go. And then we'll go to the second side. So I'm just turning so you can see the knee in alignment. Hopefully that was the case. Good. Kick out, knees come into alignment, heel towards the glute. And again, have that ball close by if you need it. Make sure you're breathing, you found your focal point. Good, last one. Kick it out, heel towards the glute, back to center. Nicely done. So let's take the feet apart a little bit. Let's do a little bit more inner thigh hip work. With the feet apart, look at the heels, just make sure they're in alignment with each other. You're gonna take the arms high, and then as you come low into a squat, bring those elbows towards the waistline, kind of working the shoulders towards each other and down, but then also there's this action of the knees drawing out, not in, towards each other, out. Good, and then come up. There's the exhale. Inhale it up. Good. Root your feet down. really strong to the floor, and then they root down to help you come back up too. A couple more, working the shoulders towards each other. Good, let's do 2 more. And then back to center, nice. So tree pose, give a little shake off to the legs. Tree pose is a strong standing balance pose. We're gonna take the weight to the left leg, bring that right knee up, let it open a little bit, place that foot high or low, just not to the knee joint. Hands could be to the heart or maybe overhead. And then kind of feel like you're pushing your foot into the leg back into the foot to find that point of connection. Hands could be to the heart or overhead. And then when you're ready, we'll let that first side release. Give a little shake. Get rooted down through that right leg, lift that left knee up, let it open a little bit, place that foot high or low. Hands can be to the heart or overhead. Again, just take your time coming into the pose, open with grace. Where's the breath? Where's your focal point? And then when you're ready, we'll come out from that side. Nicely done. Let's do some arm work while we're standing. So again, back to Tadasana. Let your arms come shoulder height. I'm going to step back here a little bit. Hopefully you can see. So shoulder height, and then we'll come into some circles. Lift it up a little. Okay, so engaging the shoulders on the back, and then let there be that little reach out through the fingertips. Good, and then let's pause for a moment, flip the palms, let the arms go backwards. Good, and then flip the palms, let the arms relax for just a moment. So scissor arms, one arm reaches high and the other kind of extends back, and then switching. There's that big reach, up and back, up and back. Extending through the fingertips, really letting the shoulders kind of work up and around. Good, last one, reach high and back, and then we'll come back to center. Shake it off a little. So we're gonna extend right arm forward, and then reach high, bend the elbows so you're touching behind your head somewhere, and then reach forward to come out. Go to the left side. Reach up, high, and touch. Reach high to come out. Alternate. That front arm, going to the right, shifting to the left. Trying to get a tricep stretch when you come into the overhead stretch. Good, and last one. Nice. Shake that off a little bit, and then let's take, let's see, no. Let's come back down to tabletop. This will be good. So take your time and let your hands and knees. I think I have to shift the screen a little bit. So we're going to root the left hand to the floor really strong. Let your right arm reach high for the ceiling and then kind of pull through to the left, maybe even touching your body on the rib cage there. Good, and then reach high again. Extending the right arm high, root the left hand down. We're going to pull through. Good, and reach high again. Pull through one more time, tap the body. Good, and then reach high. We're going to thread the needle now. Come down to that right shoulder, to the right temple. Keeping the hips high. Maybe the toes stay tucked. If there's a version of thread the needle you feel comfortable with, you can certainly play with that now. You can let the left arm come back for a bind, or you can come to a lifted leg. It just depends on your practice. You can even put the palms together, push. Good, and then take your time, slowly coming up, back into tabletop. Good, root the right hand to the floor really strong. Let the left hand come high towards the ceiling, and then you're gonna pull it through to the right. Twist as much as you can, tap the body, reach high again. Pull through, tap the body. Good, reach high. Pull through, tap the body. Reach high again, and now come down to thread the needle. Down to the shoulder, to the temple on the left side. And again, if there's a version that you're comfortable with, maybe it's a half bind, or you can lift that leg, it just depends on your practice. Good, and then again, take your time back into tabletop. Let's tuck the toes here again for downward facing dog. Hands come strong, move the wrists, make sure they're parallel at the top of the mat, and then lifting the hips high. So from here, take a look at your feet, make sure they're hip-width distance, maybe noticing if you need to, your ears are right in between your upper arms. And then again, we're gonna come down to tabletop. Take a child's pose for just a moment, kind of surrender down. And then finding a comfortable seat. We're gonna do a little work for the head. So you can be on a block or a blanket, anything that you feel comfortable with. Letting the tailbone root down, lift the ribs up a little bit, draw the shoulders towards the ears, back and down, and then slowly start to bring your chin forward. So watch how the rest of the body isn't following. It's just the chin is far forward, and then bring it back. Here, I'll turn a little bit so you can kind of see. So chin comes forward, and then back into alignment. So there's this idea of that forward head posture where we're here a lot these days, or even dropping down, right? We've got the screens in front of us, we're driving, all of these things that kind of pull the cervical spine out of alignment. So this helps to bring it back. It's that awareness of kind of the extremes of bringing it far forward and back. So hold it back this time. And now we're gonna slowly turn and look to the right as far as you can. Watch that your left shoulder didn't follow. And then go through center and look to the left as far as you can. Right shoulder didn't follow. Keeping your body really square, just let your head, neck, and breath move. One side, gently to the other. So I'm putting my hands to my ribs so I know that I'm not turning. And then back to center. So bring the chin forward and back. Let's just do it 3 times. And when it's back, hold it there. Now let your right ear draw to the right shoulder and left ear to the left shoulder. So in this pose, watch that you're not leaning too far to one side and that you're not creeping your shoulder up to meet it. You're just moving the head, neck, and breath here again. One side, do the other. You may hear a little bit of noise within the neck. That's very common as long as you're not hearing any major pops or feeling any unease. Good, and then let's come back to center. Let the next one be the last one. We're gonna add on here, let your right ear draw to the right shoulder. Right arm is gonna sweep up and just rest. So my right fingertips are kind of touching my left ear, and I'm just allowing the arm to hang out here. I'm not pulling the head down. I'm not trying to force any stretch here to happen because it's already happening. If you want to, you can let your left fingertips reach for the floor. That can add a little bit. And then kind of letting your right arm just feel heavy. Let the weight kind of drop out of it. So that can increase the stretch. But again, you're not trying to pull the head down. Good. Lift the right hand. Now turn your gaze. I'm going to take my gaze to look down towards my right leg. My chin's kind of in towards my collarbone. Now bring the right hand back to your head. This time it's change position. It's towards the back of the skull a little bit more. Still breathing. Relaxing as much as you can. Letting that right arm just feel heavy. And then slowly, slowly lifting that hand away, lift the head up. Pull the chin forward and back. 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Good. Now when it's back, let the left ear draw to the left shoulder. Left arm sweeps up, letting that hand rest at the side of the head. Again, the fingertips are kind of touching the right ear. Maybe the right arm walks away a little bit. That can add engagement as you're drawing energy away. That can add to the stretch. Let the left arm feel heavy. Not collapsing through the body, staying strong and lifted, getting a full breath in and a full breath out. Now lifting that left hand, turn your gaze. So you're gonna look down towards your left leg, chin is in towards the collarbone, bring that hand back to the head, noticing the change in the stretch. Deep breath in, long breath out. Good, and then slowly, slowly, we're gonna release that. Come back to center, move the head, neck, and shoulders around a little bit. Now this one's a little tricky, but this is a little bit of yoga magic. So we're gonna, again, keep the body really still. Turn your gaze to look right as far as you can, and then your left hand just touches your left cheek. Slight amount of pressure, and it's kind of amazing how much further your head, neck, and eyes can turn and look. And then let's go back to center. Second side, turn and look left. Find how far you can turn first, and then bring your right hand to the right cheek, and with a slight touch, you're kind of pushing into that cheek just a little bit to see if you can change your range of motion. And then let's go back to center. Nicely done. Okay, last one here for the head neck. We're going to clasp the fingers and then place your thumbs. Hands come behind the head, but you're going to place those thumbs into that space where your hairline and neck meet. Now, let your elbows kind of draw towards each other. Again, we're not going to pull the head down. We're just going to slowly start to bring chin towards the chest, and the arms get heavy. Now, make sure that you're staying lifted through your torso. You're still breathing. Again, not pulling the head, just letting your arms kind of feel the weight drop out of them. And then if it feels okay, you can look to your right and look to your left a little bit. That can add to the stretch. Come back to center with the chin, slowly, slowly lifting the head. Release the arms and move the head, neck, and shoulders around a little bit. Good. When you're ready, let's come back into downward facing dog. Third time. If you're doing a stiff guys and gals, a lot of times you know that we tend to shy away from the down dogs, but here's 3 for tonight. If the heels don't touch the floor, that's fine. You can keep them lifted. If they do, awesome. Pushing through the shoulders again. And we're gonna come to stand, so whatever's the best way for you to get there. Again, you can come to your knees, you can walk, hop, creep, crawl. Take your time, slowly coming to stand. So we're gonna move through some warrior poses from a standing pose. So taking your right foot forward, left toes are I'm gonna turn just so you can kind of see. So it's not a huge step. It's not a huge step back with that left foot. That right knee has a soft bend, keeping your torso in alignment, so your shoulders are over the hips, and then let your arms extend high, but then drop the shoulders down the back towards each other. That can be that little stretch with the fingertips. And then where's your neck? Make sure your chin's not really far forward. Bring it back into alignment. Root down through the soles of the feet. Hands come to the heart, and then left foot steps forward. Make sure your toes are pointing forward so you can go right into the second side. Right foot steps back again. You want your hips to be square, so it's not a huge step. That left knee keeps that soft bend. Hands can be to the heart, or if they're coming overhead, let the shoulders drop and fingertips extend. Deep breath in, long breath out. Deep breath in, long breath out. Sorry, let me switch this. Good, let's take hands to the heart. Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Right foot forward. Left foot's gonna step back a little bigger this time. I'm gonna turn so you can see this. So a little bit more of a step back. That right knee keeps that soft bend, letting the arms extend out with the reach.
I'm not sure if you can see that, but my shoulder blades draw towards each other and then down the back. Hands to the heart, stepping forward. Good, let's go to the second side. Right foot's gonna step back for Virabhadrasana 2. Left knee has that soft bend. Let the arms extend out and reach, so watch that you're not pulling forward. You're trying to keep the shoulders over the hips. And there's that dropping down of the shoulders, maybe looking in alignment for the neck or over those left fingertips. Deep breath in, long breath out. Good. Let's take hands to the heart and step that left foot forward. Or sorry, right foot forward. And crescent lunge. So in crescent lunge, you want your feet to be on train track, sort of, not in the, not right behind each other, but giving yourself a wide enough stretch so you're feeling balanced. Left leg comes behind, you're on your toes. I'll turn here again. So your heel is either pointing back or up towards the ceiling. Watch that front knee. Good. And again, watch that you're not coming forward. You're kind of staying level, that your shoulders are over the hips. Hands could be to the heart or overhead. Good. And then where's the neck alignment? This should be getting a big stretch on the back leg. And then we're going to come into a airplane from here. So let your arms drop to the side, give a little push off onto that right leg, let the left leg lift behind you. Engage your core, take your time, come to stand. Nicely done. We'll go to the second side. So first, Tadasana, strong standing pose. Crescent lunge, right foot's gonna step back. Again, maybe you root the foot down and then lift the heel back towards the room or up towards the ceiling. Left knee has that soft bend. Keeping the hips square, heart lifted, shoulders down and towards each other on the back body. Neck in alignment, find your breath. Let the arms drop to the side, give a little push off, start to fly. Engage your core, come back to stand. Nicely done. Woo-hoo. Nicely done. All right, shake that off a little bit. Let's come down to our mat. Take your, if you have a mat, that's awesome. We're gonna run the left leg against the left side of the mat, and the right foot is gonna come into the left thigh. So high or low, so if it feels uncomfortable for your hip, then bring that foot close, or I'm sorry, far away. If it feels okay, then you can bring that a little bit closer in. Now the idea here though is that you've got both sits bones drawn down into the floor. So watch that you're not leaning too far to one side or to the other. Lift the ribs from the waistline. Lift shoulders up, back, and down. Good. And now we're gonna come in between the legs. So you push off with that left heel. Make sure your toes are engaged up towards the ceiling. Your hands can rest on your legs, and your heart is going towards the top right corner of the mat. So we're not rounding the shoulders and collapsing through the neck. So stay strong, stay lifted, neck's in alignment. Watch it, it's not even forward, ahead of you. Heart, right here, that space, goes towards the top right corner of your mat. So it may not be a big move. See, like I'm even moving from here to here, but I can still feel it in the back side, in my legs, in the shoulder blades. Deep breath in, long breath out. And then slowly lifting up. Now turning a little bit so your torso kind of is more in line with your left leg. Again, let your heart go towards your toes. So again, this might not be a big move, right? You could go from here to here with alignment. Keep pushing through that left heel and your heart is reaching for the toes. If you feel comfortable with this pose, you can hold on to the foot and maybe surrender the heart down. It just depends. If you're coming into the full expression of the pose, make sure you're kind of rooting the sits bones down, lifting up through the heart so you get more expansion in the low back. With a full breath. And then engage to come up. We're gonna come into a twist from here. Left leg stays really active. Maybe even looking at that leg before you come into the full expression of the pose so you know that's not asleep. Lift up through the rib cage again. Now, watch your shoulder blades. Watch if the left one isn't pulling and drawing you forward. It stays in alignment so you can kind of turn the whole torso in one piece, if you will, one section. Turning to the right as far as you can, and then let your hands relax. So that left shoulder is still working on the back body, your left leg is still active. We did some neck work, so maybe looking over that right shoulder. Letting the left waistline kind of help draw it around to the right. It's not my left shoulder doing the work, it's actually the waistline. And now from here, adding on, we're gonna root that right hand to the floor even more. Rock to the right knee. I'm rocking to the big toe on the left foot for a wild thing. So you can come straight up, or maybe it's a little back bend. So I'm just gonna turn, you can stay in the pose, I'm just gonna turn for kind of alignment. So my right hand comes out, rock to the right knee, rock to the big toe, and straight up. Or again, maybe it's a little back bending action. And then slowly, we'll come down from that first side. Again, if you have a mat, awesome. You can run your right leg against the right edge of the mat. If not, just making sure that it's straight out from the hip. So it's not out too far, it's not in too wide, right? It's that Goldilocks leg. Getting your sits bones to root down, push through that right heel, let that leg be really active and strong. Good, so first we're gonna go towards the left corner of the mat. Get really tall, let your heart go in that direction. Push through that right heel. Neck's in alignment, heart's, torso's in alignment. Good, and then slowly coming up. Turn your torso so you're gonna come long over the right leg. So again, torso stays in alignment, neck stays in alignment, so you're kind of leading with your heart. If you feel comfortable, you can grab your foot. Maybe if you're feeling really comfortable with that, you can surrender down, let your heart drop towards the right leg. And then slowly we're gonna come up. We're gonna come to a twist. So again, this is really important to keep the shoulders together in the back body. Let your right waistline turn you to the left as far as it'll go, and then your hands relax out. So think about rooting down with the sits bones and lifting up with the rib cage. Turn that right waistline even more. Maybe your head, neck, and eyes even turn and look left. Watch that right shoulder isn't following. I just felt mine follow, so I'm bringing it back and trying to turn from the waistline. Okay, and then we're gonna come into the wild thing. So I'm gonna shift again just so you can kind of see what this looks like. So the left hand comes out maybe a little bit further. You're gonna rock to that left knee and lift up. Maybe it's straight up or a little bit of a back bend. Good, and then take your time. Let's come down. Come all the way to your back. I'm gonna turn to my side just so you, again, you can see what we're gonna do. Come down to the elbows, maybe it feels okay. You can rest all the way down onto your back. Extend your right knees bent, soles of the feet to the floor, left leg extends high. Let's come to a reclining pigeon. Take that ankle rested on the left knee. Now watch it, you're not pointing the foot away. The toes actually draw towards the right knee, and then see about finding that evenness in the tailbone. Maybe you can feel that lengthening of the tailbone. So you can kind of curl it in as the pelvis draws in, lengthen it, the tailbone goes away. You get that little space at the low back. That's kind of what we're looking for here, is that little space. If you want more to this pose, you can start to bring the left thigh in towards you, wrapping your hands around the back of the left thigh. So that little space in the low back maybe disappeared, but if you can, find it again. Lengthen your tailbone. See how my legs are kind of shifting away from me as I'm finding that space in the low back? Keeping your right toes active towards the right knee. Think of that right knee hip drawing down towards the floor and away from you. Deep breath in, long breath out. And then left foot comes to the floor. Bring the right foot to the floor. We're gonna go to the second side. Extend the left leg high. Let that foot rest on the right knee. Left toes are active towards the left knee. Now, again, do that little pelvis tilt so you can draw it in and then lengthen it so you get that space at the low back. And maybe that's where you stay. If you want more, you can bring that right thigh in towards you and then see about recreating that space in the low back. That kind of evens the hips and it creates a little bit more of a hip opening on the left side. Deep breath in, long breath out. Good, let's bring the right foot to the floor, left foot to the floor. So we're gonna do a final twist before Shavasana. Let your feet go wide a little bit, and then let your knees drop from one side to the other, kind of coming into this little twisting action. If you can, keep your shoulders connected to the floor. This action is a little bit of from the waistline down. Okay, now here comes the twist part. It's a little tricky. So we're gonna take both knees to the left. Your left foot lifts up on top of the right knee. Left foot on top of the right knee. Good. And then your right arm extends up by your ear. So this stretch is along the right side of the body. I'm not sure if you can see, but my right side is lifted up. And I'm trying to tack down my right shoulder, and I'm trying to think of my left foot into that right knee, so that stretches all the way along. Deep breath in, long breath out. And then slowly, slowly, we're gonna come back to center, maybe shifting the pelvis if you need to. Feet are wide apart, so when you drop your knees, your right foot's almost already in alignment with that left knee. See, my left side's already lifted up. I'm gonna extend my left arm up by the ear and maybe engaging through the left fingertips, maybe rooting that right foot into that left knee. So you get a big stretch on the left side body. Deep breath in, long breath out. And then slowly, slowly back to center. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Give a little rock around, maybe some circles. One side to the other, round and round. Good, and then hold still. Bring your head and heart up to meet your knees. Curl everything in, hold it really tight. And with an exhale, let everything go. Legs relax out, arms relax with the palms open. Taking corpse pose. Deep breath in, long breath out. Noticing the breath, noticing where the mind traveled to. Stay connected to the present. Inhale and exhale. I'm going to come back to this moment, to this breath, moving fingers and toes. Let the arms maybe come overhead so you can stretch from the fingers to the toes. Bend your knees, soles of the feet come to the floor, and then roll to the right side. Pause there for just a moment. Giving yourself a little bit of space as we transition from stillness for the world that awaits. Come into a comfortable seat when you're ready. Let's take the arms out and up with a full breath in. Exhale the breath as the hands drop to the heart. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me and each other this evening. The light and divine in me bows to the light and divine within each of you. Namaste. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time. We'll see you Tuesday at 5:30.
Thank you.
Thank you.